Okay, good morning and welcome to the kickoff of the Encanto Community's Neighborhood Revitalization Day. And yes, my staff ordered this weather, so thank you. This is a wonderful day to do this. I'm Myrtle Cole, and I am so honored and proud to represent the 4th Council District in the city of San Diego. Joining me today are Chris McFadden, the Director of the Transportation and Stormwater Department. His department has oversight of the Streets Division crews that fill our potholes and other street maintenance operations. They have been tremendously responsive and have filled potholes throughout this district. Also joining me today is Chris Gonover, the Director of the Environmental Services Department. The Solid Waste Code Enforcement section helps to make sure mattresses and sofas are disposed of properly and not left in parking lots, backyards, or on our street corners. Gwen Martin is here. Gwen is the chair of the Encanto Community Recreation Council, and she will share a few remarks on behalf of our community. Lastly, Michael Richmond, the acting Deputy Director of the Development Services Department's Code Enforcement section. Now, on Monday, Chris McFadden and I stood with Mayor Faulkner and 2 of my council colleagues to announce a budget that will help with revitalization efforts like this one. I laid out my priorities of public safety, police and fire recruitment and retention, and investment in our neighborhoods and communities that have been historically underserved. You know, we want the 4th Council District to be a clean and safe place to live and work. Since I took office 10 short months ago, it seems like longer, but 10 short months ago, we started hosting what we called at the time Code Enforcement Days. With the help of our hardworking and dedicated city employees like those who have joined us today, this effort grew to include more than code enforcement. We changed the name to reflect the true nature of what we're doing in the various communities, like Encanto. We're going to each of the 18 communities that comprise the 4th Council District. This is the 5th Neighborhood Revitalization Day that I've hosted so far. My office works hard to respond to various constituent concerns and issues. Today, at the conclusion of this news conference, we will take a brief tour of some of these issues that must be addressed in this community. And I invite the news media to come along to see firsthand why we are out here today. It takes all of us working together to get things done. Now, I want to invite Chris McFadden to share a few remarks. Chris? You're welcome.
Good morning, and thank you, Councilmember Cole. I really do appreciate the opportunity to join you today, and I'm happy to add my voice to your call for continued revitalization of District 4. Our department, as you mentioned, is responsible for maintaining streets throughout the city, sidewalks and storm drains, and maintaining the storm water quality and water quality throughout the city. We work closely with communities like yours to identify priorities to help us set plans for improving city neighborhoods. We fix potholes, and thanks to the efforts of city workers, are doing them in a schedule that is more effective and cost efficient. Instead of chasing potholes on an individual basis from one end of town to the next, we now asked your constituents to contact us and help us identify and create a list for each district, including District 4. And on average, we have pothole crews in your districts at least twice a month. We get to each council district like that, focusing all of our attention, getting more done in nearby neighborhoods than we did under our previous system. We're also dedicating more resources to street repaving and building better streets. As you heard about the mayor's budget and about the new money coming for road repairs in the upcoming fiscal year, you may not have heard about our plan to protect our paving investment in your community. We now have a street preservation ordinance that limits impacts on freshly repaved streets and includes a moratorium on projects that might damage fresh paving. The department is also working to plan and build a new stormwater pollution prevention facilities in neighborhoods like yours that will improve water quality in Choyas Creek. Our staff is working with city planners to help update the community plans, including the long-awaited update for Encanto. In short, we have a great team that is working with you, and everyone living in District 4 to improve how we deliver city services, increase the services we deliver, and protect our infrastructure once those improvements are made. This is one way we're helping to revitalize District 4. We're proud to be your partner and look forward to working with you and the council member in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I get excited every time we speak about potholes. I do. Being filled every 9 days in the district, on average, really twice a month. Yes, the street preservation ordinance is just a great piece of legislative common sense. As now vice chair of both the Public Safety and Livable Neighborhoods Committee and the Infrastructure Committee, I know that we have a lot of work to do to make sure our neighborhoods are safe and livable. We have to address our aging and crumbling infrastructure. These neighborhood revitalization days are designed to do just that. Next, I'd like to introduce Chris Gonover to make a few remarks. Chris? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Cole. And again, I'm really happy to be here today to talk about some of the programs and services that we provide here at Environmental Services. And as Chris McFadden indicated, it really is a partnership between us and the community, because while we're out in the community on a daily basis doing the things that we do each day, you folks live and work here in the community, and so we encourage you to contact us with issues so that we can respond to them. And our phone number is 858-694-7000, and you will get quick response. Today, I'm also joined with two of the folks who are out here in the community on a regular basis, Chris Penman and Lisa Poston, and they'll be available afterwards to talk about any specific questions you might have regarding the services that we provide. Just to give you a little bit of a background, in 2013, we sponsored 22 cleanup events in Council District 4. 4 of those cleanup events were actually here in Encanto neighborhoods, and we were able to remove over 360 tons of unwanted waste, and I would just say waste that tends to be deposited in places where they shouldn't be, if you will. But on average, it turned out to be about 16 tons per cleanup. So they were very, very successful. So far this year in 2014, we've conducted 3 similar cleanups in Council District 4, removing a little over 50 tons and an average, again, right about 16 tons per cleanup from each of those events. We have another 8 events that are scheduled between now and June. So we'll be out here in the community on a frequent basis, including 2 of those that will be here in the Encanto neighborhood, and we'll be happy to provide you with a list to make sure that you're aware of where and when those are going to be. Lisa and Chris and the rest of the code enforcement folks actively respond and investigate to reports of illegal dumping of materials into the right-of-way or on private property. A code officer will follow up very quickly, usually within 2 to 3 days, sometimes faster than that, to make sure that we address the issue. And again, those code officers can be contacted through our hotline number, 858-694-7000. Our department is also sponsoring a used oil and oil filter recycling event on May 17th here in District 4 at the School of Creative and Performing Arts. Along with the oil waste and oil products, we accept fluorescent light bulbs and household batteries at those events. And I'm sure most folks are aware, but just to reiterate that if you do have used oil, don't want to wait for one of our events, most of the shops that sell oil and do oil-related oil changes will take back the oil as well, that you can bring any of your used oil. So again, any further information or questions regarding those programs, as well as our household hazardous waste facility that's at Miramar Landfill, those programs can be accessed through our hotline. Just a reminder also that just recently there's a new program called Paint Care, where some of the paint retail outlets are accepting used paints back to their to their locations so that you don't have to bring it to Miramar, to our household hazardous waste facility, or to one of our cleanup events. And again, we'd be happy to provide a list of where you can take those paint products. They're also available on our department website that you can access through the city's website. And again, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Councilmember Cole, for inviting us to participate. And it's a privilege to work with the Encanto community in District 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And can we get those numbers? We can put those on our newsletters because we send out a newsletter every single week. So we'll put that information about the paint and everything in our newsletter. Thank you for that information, Chris. Code enforcement helps to keep our neighborhoods clean and safe. We also feature those cleanup efforts that you just spoke of, as I said in my weekly newsletter. I want to thank you and your staff who have worked with my office from the very beginning when we started out with the code enforcement days. Now, I'd like to invite Gwen Martin to make a few remarks. Gwen? Thank you. You're welcome.
Good morning on such a beautiful day. Thank you so much, Councilman Cole, for your commitment to our district. From me, I would like to say that the Encanto area and your district have voted you in, which means that we trust that you will get things done. From the first day that you walked onto the premises, you have gotten things done. So we thank you for that. It means a lot to us to know that we have a representative who is serious about revitalization in our neighborhoods. I'm Gwen Martin. I've been the chair of the Encanto Recreation Council for the past 4 years. I've also been a board member and a volunteer at this very rec center for 21 years. When I was asked to speak on behalf of my community, I was humbled and very honored to share a few remarks. We must work with the Councilmember Cole, and we must do our part. We can't expect her to do it all. We have to do our fair share. We have to properly dispose of our household items, which means we have to stop throwing them out on the corners, throwing them in front of the streets, putting them in our canyons. We have to report all potholes that cannot be fixed if we aren't calling them in. This is our responsibility. And we have to be active in our community. We have beautiful parks that we would all like for you guys to come and join and be a part of. We would also like to bring friends and family days back to our parks. I firmly believe we have to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. I want to also thank the city staff for all of your hard work in our community. I can't wait to start the Encanto Community's Neighborhood Revitalization Day. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of Encanto.
Thank you, Gwen. All right. You said it best. We all must do our part. It really does take all of us working together to make a difference. Last, but certainly not least, I want to invite Michael Richmond to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilmember Cole. I don't have prepared remarks, but I do want to mention a few things about code enforcement. We're part of Development Services. We have a staff of code compliance officers, building inspectors, and land development investigators. And we respond to a lot of different sorts of requests for investigation. To add to Chris's comment about, I'll add to the team and join him in giving you our phone number in case you want to turn in a request for investigation. We can be reached at 619-236-5500. And we're out in the community every day. I did want to also mention something that we are involved in that makes a big difference in the Encanto community. We participate on a monthly basis with San Diego Police Department, Environmental Services, as well as other city departments. We meet monthly, and we call it the Southeastern San Diego Partnership with the police. And all the resources from the city come together and talk about maybe problem areas that we're all running into. So we share on a monthly basis and follow up and keep up to date on what all the other departments are doing as well. I'm happy to be here. We're involved daily in Encanto with lots of code enforcement efforts, and we hope to continue that effort going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Your staff truly has gone above and beyond in partnership with our efforts, and I want to thank, though, the city leaders, Gwen Martin, and the staff here at the Encanto Recreation Center. Thank you so very much. I also want to thank all of you who joined us today to showcase this important work that we're doing.